I know this dream is the same date as the dream before it, but that's because I had them in the same night. I just woke up and fell back to sleep. So I had this dream that I was blind, except it wasn't that I was actually blind. It was like I had an allergic reaction and so I couldn't open my eyes. That happens to me a lot in dreams, is that I can't open my eyes. Like, it's awful. Usually I can't open my eyes and I'm stuck on the edge of a cliff and I have to run across a highway to get off of the edge of a cliff. That's usually what happens when my eyes are closed. But I couldn't open my eyes, and I had been asked, because of my book reviews online, I'd been asked to come speak at a girls' school, like give them a speech or something. And so I was there like an hour early, and I was in this library, because sometimes I could see, but it wasn't because my eyes were closed, it was just because I knew what was around me. So I was in this library and I was sitting down, I couldn't open my eyes, but a bunch of the girls were there asking me questions already. So I was just sitting there answering all their questions, and they were like, I can't wait to read Inkheart, and they were asking me tons of questions about Inkheart, and this girl was like, I'm buying it this week, and like, awesome. So then it came time for me to actually give a speech in front of their school, and so I was standing up front at the podium and I couldn't open my eyes still, but because I knew what was around me, I still had the picture in my head, you know? So there's all the girls sitting in this auditorium, and then there were these two boys, like, working on this one bench in the front. But for some random reason, I think it was a Christian school, I was like, let's open up in prayer, because I wanted to pray that I'd get my vision back. I don't know, I just did it, that's what I wanted to pray. So I started, but the two boys were talking really, really loudly, and so I stopped my prayer and I was like, excuse me, can you two please be quiet, I'm trying to pray. And so I started praying again, but they were both really loud still. So I started like yelling at them. I was like, if you two do not be quiet, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. And so I tried to continue praying, but they were just wicked loud. And so I turned to the principal. I was like, can we please have these two gentlemen removed from the school? And it was a girls' school, but the boys' school across the street or something had detention, and the boys who were in detention would come and do like handiwork at the girls' school, so that's why those two boys were there. They were working on the bench for detention. And so one boy left because I told them to leave, but the other boy wouldn't leave, and he was just being really loud. And so I grabbed his arm and I was walking him out of the auditorium, and like, I feel like my eyes were still closed, but I could see more clearly. And so I was walking the kid out, and then he did this like crazy ninja move and started running towards the stage, and I heard him say, "You're beautiful," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." And someone was like, "No, there's a magic spell in the school that when someone calls you a bad word, it says you're beautiful." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I start running after the kid to the stage. I was like, okay, I have to be really careful here because I can't do anything that'll get me in trouble with the school or with him. Like, I can't wrestle him. But he was so obnoxious, doing ninja moves all over the place. I think he hit me or something. And so I started chasing him, and he thought he was going to be faster because he was like really small, and he had his ninja moves, but I apparently was a ninja too. So I was jumping after him, and I finally caught up to him, and I grabbed his arm and I stuck it behind his back, and it was like a cop hold or whatever, and I was like, alright, you're leaving now. And that was it.